when you saw the fact that it's been 30 years since your...
It blew me away. Actually, I got a text the night before from one of the producers who was, in fact, quite good, Jerry Madelon.
Oh, Jerry. We know Jerry, of course.
Jerry was, in fact, the producer of that show that night. And so I got a text the night before notifying me it was the 30th anniversary, which was the first. And then it was like, geez. And then you're like Citizen Kane. You put it out into the internet world.
Yes.
And it just, it took off.
It did.
I was
love it still.
astonished.
People still love it. So when you heard Carl Lewis's walk me through when this hit the SportsCenter newsroom.
It began that morning.
Yeah.
I was driving in to Bristol. We had a 7 o'clock show, and inexplicably we had editorial meetings at 10 a.m. for no apparent reason other than. And so we're sitting around, and Jack Edwards happened to be anchoring with me that night. Normally it was Bob and Robin.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jack unmercifully drew the short straw that night, apparently. So I'm driving in, and I hear on WFAN like 10 seconds of this thing. And it's this editorial meeting, we just talk about what we're going to talk about that night.
Yes.
And I told him I heard this thing. Maybe we have video of it. Okay. So somebody goes downstairs, and damned if there wasn't video of the whole thing. And they used to give me what they called the kicker, the last story of the show, which was,
7:58 in the evening after a 7 o'clock show.
That's exactly right.
Right.
And so try to end on a upbeat. And so now we see the whole thing. So it's like, this is god awful, but there's something that we can do with this. And going in, basically, we're going to condense it for your own good. Here it is. Now, in the old days at ESPN, before there were offices and stuff, we had these little, just little
cubicles, right?
Cubicles, that's the word.
Yeah.
And my cubicle happened to be next to a bank of audio. Back when they threw in cartridges.
Yes, that's right.
And so,
right?
Yeah. Cart machines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where you put the cartridge.
Yep.
And so now people are hearing about this all day. And they walk in and say, we got to hear this Carl Lewis thing. And I'm typing the show for that night. And I probably heard it 25, 30 times. And I'm thinking,
uh-oh.
The uh-oh sells it. The uh-oh sells it. And so now I'm laughing every time. And I'm figuring by 7:58 or whatever time it was, I would have been laughed out.
No doubt.
You would think.
You would think.
Well, it didn't turn out that way. So, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem, and people watch it. Now, in the studio, which was considerably smaller than your spacious digs here.
Yeah.
We had 3 cameramen, had a stage manager, and a guy who ran the prompter.
Yeah, the prompter operator.
And Jack. Now, they are all collectively losing it, and I am kind of leading the parade. And I'm thinking, well, okay, by the time it is over, I'll be fine. I wasn't.
You were not laughed out, and I think you just gave the voice of what everybody at home was doing.
I guess, and I said to somebody, it was like being in the back row when a substitute teacher was in, and you're holding it in and you're holding it in until you can't, and 2 minutes later you're in the principal's office. Well, boogers are flying out of my nose, spit's coming out of my, and I have lost it. And now I'm thinking, as I'm embarrassing myself, can I save this? And I lean back in the chair, and I don't know where it came from, but the Francis Scott off-key line, it was like intervention
that
from
wasn't
God.
scripted? That literally, that was...
Yeah, no, it popped into my head as I'm leaning back.
Wow.
Francis Scott off key.
And so, I mean, it was kick saving a beauty.
That's right.
And so now...
Oh, my gosh.
Perfect.
And so now this show is over. And I'm thinking, so is my career. And we used to go upstairs into that tiny little newsroom, and you would remove your IFB.
Yes.
You put it, we didn't have spacious desks or anything. You had a drawer.
Yeah.
And you put it in the drawer. And so I'm walking into the room. The entire newsroom is hysterically laughing. But it was the longest walk from the studio to the newsroom because I'm thinking, I'm dead. I'm fired.
You have no
this
idea
is
how it's
over.
received. Yeah,
I'm over.
exactly. Yeah.
And then they are all laughing. And at the end of the day, it turned out all right. And that night, I think Keith and Dan did the 11.
Yeah.
They replayed the entire segment from the 7.
Of you?
Yes,
Of you?
the entire thing.
So the big show.
The big show. I was the big show part 2. And
Oh, my God.
and now 30 years have come and gone.
Yeah.
And Carl Lewis was one of the elite athletes of the 20th century.
There's no question.
He was drafted in the 10th round in 1984 in the NBA.
I didn't know that.
And he, sadly, for a generation, this is what people think about for Carl. And I really feel awful about that, but it wasn't my fault. It really wasn't my fault.
The meaning that he just knew that the register that he started the song that he couldn't
Midway
get
through,
And the Rockets.
Well, and then the other thing that struck me was Derek Coleman,
Yes.
who's biting his war jersey.
I'm watching it right now. It's amazing.
I'm just laughing. Oh my God.
What's remarkable?
The giggle fest.
So again, what I must tell you, it was extremely liberating for me because I was relatively new to television. I've been at ESPN for 3 years, but basically I was a radio guy.
Right.
I still am. And so I completely lost it. I was as naked as a human being with clothes on could be. And I survived, and it was okay, and there was like a natural reaction to it. And then over the years, when I found things funny, because I was so liberated from that moment, I could laugh about Tanya Harding.
Oh my God.
Or
by the way,
Mike Tyson, any of them.
The Tanya Harding, because that's the other giggle moment for you. And the Tanya Harding, because it was once you got divorced, right?
Right.
And her ex got the tools.
Pickup truck, and she got the tool chest. and
you're like going through the divorce settlement.
Yeah.
Who got what? And she got
the tool chest.
And you could.
And is that not funny? And so because of Carl Lewis,
I can't get it.
I could then.
Oh my God!
And Mitch Blood Green and the Haberdasher.
Oh.
And the other one was
There's a Kerry Wood one.
Kerry
too.
Wood.
Yeah.
His last known relief appearance when he got caught relieving himself, and he told the cop, "Not now. I'm not finished yet." So when you write that stuff, I mean, it's pure gold. And
it writes itself.
Yes. And so that is why they used to give me the kicker stories to end shows.
Oh my God.
And yeah.
Those are the days.
And so
man.
the Kerry Wood thing was kind of fun because he was a rookie. He was a rookie sensation. And I have lost it over his last known relief appearance. He was a starter at the time. Show's over. I come back upstairs, and I get a call from Mark Grace. They're in Arizona spring training.
Yeah.
He said, Gary's on the phone, like to talk to you. And all we did was laugh. He loved it, and we became friends over the years because
of that.
Yeah.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.